For as long as I can remember, I've wanted to do a series about the best scenes in films, TV shows, games, and books. And with the feeling of a new year still somewhat in the air, I mean, now feels like as good a time as any to give that a go. And obviously, there are any number of scenes that I could start with, but if I'm being honest, there is only one that I would want to analyze to really kick this whole thing off. A scene that, if I'm being honest, is my Roman Empire. I've honestly thought about it weekly ever since I first saw it well over a decade ago, and that is the coffee for closers scene in Glengarry Glen Ross. But before we dive into all of that, I just want to say thank you for swinging by my channel. If you want to see more videos about storytelling in films, TV shows, games, and books, then why not hit that subscribe button while you're here? Now, if you've never heard of this film, then especially with a title like that, you might be thinking I've just made it up. Glengarry Glen Ross is a film adaptation of David Mamet's play of the same name. It's a look at the great clash between greed and toxic masculinity that corrupted American society in the 1980s. And it's told through the lens of a group of real estate agents who are constantly trying to do all that they can just to keep their head above water. The play is fantastic, and if you ever get an opportunity to see it, then I cannot recommend it enough. But there's one scene in the film that was made specifically for it and written by Mamet himself that just absolutely makes the story so much better. In this scene, a representative from the head office comes to inspire the salesman to try and heed better results from them. But what actually follows is a diatribe of swearing and insults unlike anything I've seen in cinema. It sets the tone perfectly for the entire story, and it's played with such intensity that you honestly can't take your eyes off of it for the entire duration. It's just 8 minutes of Alec Baldwin absolutely berating the life out of these guys, but what really makes it is the dialogue. It's threaded with so many quotable lines that you'd honestly have trouble keeping track of them all. And it kicks off with arguably the most famous line of them all, "Coffee's for closers only," which shows exactly how much contempt this man has for these salesmen. He doesn't care about their problems or anything that might be standing in their way. As far as he's concerned, if they don't meet their targets, then they are nothing, not even worth a cup of coffee. The speech lampoons useless company acronyms like ABC, always be closing, and AIDA, attention, interest, decision, action, both of which don't really offer any useful advice to these salesmen that actually might help them. But what is consistent through the whole speech is a relentless attack on the masculinity of these men. Any personal attributes they may have are completely irrelevant unless they can complete this one goal: close the deal and make the company money. It's a belter of a scene, and one that I could honestly talk about for hours, but this isn't that kind of YouTube channel. I mean, I have a day job, thank you very much. But the impact of this scene can be felt in everything from music to games, and in fact, there's even a spoof of the whole thing performed by Alec Baldwin himself for SNL, where he is sent to try and inspire a collection of Santa's elves. And honestly, it's so brilliantly done that at one point he completely forgets that it's a parody and he just ends up reciting lines from the actual speech. It's well worth a watch if you haven't seen it. But that's where I wanted to kick things off. It's still a fantastic scene, one that still gives me goosebumps to this day. And if you have seen Glengarry Glen Ross, then let me know in the comments below. But above all, thank you for watching.